Good evening. My name is Jackie Jones, and I have chosen the Perception and Individual Decision case study to do my presentation on. Computerized decision making being the main target. I would like to give a little bit of my background, though, prior to this. I am currently the IT manager for Howmet Wichita Falls. But previously have held many different engineering positions, including industrial engineering, process engineering, product engineering. So this was kind of something that we do and have done, and I've been on both sides of this computerized decision-making process. So that's why I saw the interest in this one. In reviewing the case, these are some of the notes that I took from the background. The computerized and statistical models, along with other computer apps, have created data overload, and that is so true, and not always in a good way. It's been blamed by some as creating the financial crisis that began in 2007, 2008. And then the apps provide facts and figures rather than thoughts and analysis. There are lots of pros and cons related to computerized decision making, and I've listed several of those in the next couple slides. As far as the pros, the capability of compiling large amounts of data. We have so many different machinery that are calculating points every few seconds in order to put a whole bunch of data together. Temperature, humidity, and a lot of other ones that go along with that. The ability to identify trends. There's so many visual aids that can take all that data and actually just make a nice, pretty chart for you. Another pro is there's no emotional ties to the decision. It's not biased. It's faster by far. There's no room for human error. So there are reduction in errors. And the data is stored typically off-site or virtually to eliminate the risk of harm due to fire or natural disaster. And obviously, you can do searches on data and get your information readily available instead of going through filing cabinets of paperwork. Some of the cons: the computerized data is not capable of intuition. Cannot foresee into the future, even with the data. There's no teamwork, collaboration, thinking that goes along with this. It's strictly just a data compilation. It cannot self-adapt when things change. Requires program changes, obviously. And there's a lot of startup costs. Some software, hardware, although it is getting a little bit cheaper, but there are some software that is pretty expensive. And then, of course, training. All the users of that information, all the users of the computers will have to be trained and up to speed. The case questions that go along with this are listed below. Broke those out individually, so we'll break those down one by one. What are the specific advantages of using computerized decision-making? Obviously, we listed those before in the pros. Just to name a few, though, they include capability of compiling large amounts of data, faster, ability to identify trends, have no emotional ties to the decision, and again, are not biased. How can computers be better decision-makers than humans? Again, it's just strictly due to speed and the information with the trends. Question number 2, what are the weaknesses of using computers as decision tools? The computer is not capable of intuition or gut feel when it comes to making decisions. Again, the computer has no feeling. Are computers likely to have specific problems in making decisions that people wouldn't have? Again, that's associated with gut feel. An employee can look around and see the big picture where the computer is only looking at the data. Question number 3, do you think computer decision-making systems can effectively take ethical issues into account? I put yes, but again, not likely. Again, it goes into the programming. A computer can take whatever factors you want to look at and compile the data. The questions within the program clearly target the ethics of a person, then I would say yes. However, a person can enter any information they want to make themselves look better on paper. A computer can compare your personal data to other databases. For instance, banking account, your credit scores, what jobs you've had in the past. All of that information can be compared and verified. However, there's no database that dictates what your morals or your ethics are. What is the role of human decision makers in creating ethical choices? As a human, the goal is to look at the person or task in the eye and tackle it, not literally. A human can ask questions about things or people, and they can do research prior to making the decision to ensure there's no laws being broken or morals being tainted with whatever that data is used for. Question number 4. Are there advantages to completely disconnecting from the wired world when possible? Definitely. I am the mother of 3. Most of them are graduated. I've got one that's still in school, and they are addicted to their phones. So one right offhand is family time and communication would greatly improve. People would make their own mind up on things instead of being influenced by others, positively and negatively. What can you do to try to retain your ability to focus and process information deeply? On a personal note, when I lose focus, the first thing I do is just walk away. Take a break from whatever it is that I'm doing. I take a brief walk, even if it's through the house. I take a breath of fresh air, breathe in, breathe out, clear my mind, and then refocus and get started. In conclusion, computerized decision making is a good thing. As an engineer, having the data readily in front of me to assist in making a decision was key. I monitored it daily and still do in my IT role because Power BI is such a huge thing. We've got charts and graphs for everything there is out there. I do monitor my information daily, and when I notice a change, I'm prompted to ask questions or to make improvements. And the data that was quick to let me know when I made a positive change as well. So when I was an engineer, I would, monitor scrap, and obviously I would make the change, and then we'd have to put in DIs to see what positive influence that we had on whatever changes it was that we made. So having the data right there is obviously a good thing. And then I have to know what to review, and when to prevent myself from getting bombarded with too much information. Obviously, but that comes with the job and learning my role within the job itself. Mentioned in this is 2 different references, reference.com and TechWalla, both good reads for advantages and disadvantages of computerized databases.